Hi, I'm Jamie Wilson, and I'm here to talk about my best friend in the whole wide world, CarlosIldran. Our friendship goes back a lifetime, so I don't know how I'm going to fit a lifetime of friendship in 6 to 8 minutes. I don't know, but I'm going to try somehow. Carlos, me and Carlos, in the beginning, didn't really get along too well. We were from two very, very different worlds, and then something happened in high school where we were thrown together, and it just blossomed from there. We shared a love of music, a love for art, a love for chismes, a love for fun. And Carlos was always a lot of fun. We also shared a passion for performing. He started out as a very frustrated performer, and I grew up in theater, so it was always a competition somehow between us because we're both hams, and we would always try to be grabbing the spotlight from each other, which is like hilarious, and it's always in good fun. I was from traditional theater, and he started getting into performance art. He was a visual artist, but he just felt the need to perform. And when we got together for Walang Pamagat, which is the name of the performance art group that he put up, he presented the idea of our first performance to me, and I was terrified because I am so used to structure and a script and costumes, etc., etc. And he presented me with an idea, and basically we were going to go by our gut feel, and we were going to perform. And I was terrified, so of course I tried to put some structure into it. It was, a tug of war of sorts, push and pull. And what came out was probably one of the best experiences I've ever had in theater, because we saw both worlds, both our worlds, combining traditional theater and performance art on a stage where we were presenting a concept, a feeling, and that was fantastic. And I've taken that idea of improvisation or going with the feeling with me on every stage I've been on ever since. We shared a love for performance, as I've said, and we've always challenged each other with our art, or where our art was. What stage were we in? Am I going to move into directing? Is he going to move into, he wanted to record an album of standards, and I'm like, hey, why not? And that's the beauty of Carlos. That's the beauty of hanging out with Carlos. It was always, why not? Do what you want to do, because life is too short. And early on in our journey together, we had been discussing this since high school, from lofty artistic pursuits and ideas and concepts to the reason why we love doing what we do, and the responsibility of artists. And we decided early on that it was more important to be good, decent human beings more than the best artist in the world. Not that we were going to compromise on any artistic concepts or our artistic integrity or our standards for excellence, but we would not pursue that and eventually become jerks. Not at the sacrifice or at the expense of our humanity, of our compassion. And these are big ideas when you're discussing this in high school. And what was amazing is that we had every opportunity to actually exercise this, to actually execute this, to actually apply this in our lives and our respective careers. There were years where we didn't really hang out with each other, but we always kept tabs with each other. And that's the beautiful thing about friendship, a real friendship, a true friendship with solid foundations. We wouldn't, see each other for a year. And when we would see each other again, we would pick up right from where we left off. In the later years when, we would be hanging out with each other, he'd be busy with his tours and I'd be busy with my theater, and we would see each other at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and we would be talking until sunrise. And we wouldn't even pick up our phones to check what was going on with the rest of the world, because this was our world. And we talked about everything under the sun. There was no topic that we couldn't discuss. But we loved discussing what we were going to do next. We have notebooks and notebooks of ideas for performances, for exhibits, for music videos, for albums. And we would, just fill those notebooks up with the things that we wanted to do. And some of those notebooks have led to the list getting shorter, the list being checked off, just amazing. Because Carlos is a person who didn't want to leave it in a notebook. This guy would turn right around and start doing it. And I remember one night where we were just having drinks at his place, and we said, hey, why don't we put on a show together? I think it's time. And he was like, what kind of show? Let's sing musical songs. Let's sing songs from musicals, which he had always wanted to do. Let's get a pianist. We got CJ Javier, and we put on this show for the Fringe Theater Festival called Fringe with Benefits. And it was billed as an evening of songs held together by a tenuous plot. That was the blurb. And we were thinking, so what's the tenuous plot? And we decided it'll be our friendship. And it was a wonderful night. We sang solos and duets, songs from our favorite musicals. And we were just having the time of our lives together. Just doing what we love to do. And not once was a voice raised. Not once was there any frustration or, getting big on or tempers flaring. And that's the beauty of doing something with somebody who's so talented, who's so passionate, who is so much fun, who's so generous. When you're doing a show like that together, it just comes together and you just enjoy yourself. From the process to the actual show itself, to the party after the show, that was enjoyable as well. And that's, in a nutshell, that's been our friendship. We had our own roles to play in the bigger sense of our barcadas. But when it was just me and him, the sky was the limit. The possibilities were wide open. And you felt that you could do anything. Anything. And I miss him terribly. But somehow he's always with me, every day, still guiding me, still talking to me. I still hear his voice. And I am still guided by that agreement we had to become better human beings than we were yesterday. To become the best there is at what you do. To keep on loving what you do. And these are the things that Carlos has left with me, including a lifetime of great memories and great times and fun times. But that's something I will carry with me for the rest of my life. To become a better human being than I was yesterday. And somehow to become as good a human being as he was. Because I have not met anyone as passionate, as generous, as funny, as relentless, and as wonderful as him. And that's something I will take with me for the rest of my days, until we meet again, where we shall start our conversations again over a drink somewhere in the heavens perhaps. But I celebrate him every day.